Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network. Good afternoon, and welcome to Fade to Black Cinema. I'm Michael, your Bougie Black Brother, and we're here for our weekly movie review, and I'm here with my co-host, Alicia.
Hello.
So we've been waiting to see this TV series for a while. I think it started back in 2017, 2018.
I think so. I think it's three seasons. I think it's 2017.
Yeah, so it's WestWorld on HBO. So, you know, we see a lot of good HBO movies and TV series. So their series is just amazing. I keep touting that off every chance that I get. But this one we've been waiting on because at the end of the last season, it was, will they do another one or won't they? Because at the end of the series, the park was pretty much shut down.
Yeah.
It was like in total chaos.
Right.
But
the way they switched it up.
Yeah, so let me give a synopsis of
Okay.
the third season because it kind of leads us into what happened in the third season. The third season of this drama series starts about 3 months after the ending of season 2. Dolores, which is, you know, the main character, is now out in the real world carrying the 5 processing cores she stole from the park's mainframe. Meanwhile, Maeve, which is our girl, Talia Newton, finds herself stuck in the World War II part where she reunites with Lee and Hector. And William, which is Ed Harris, also managed to escape Westworld, but has to deal with the guilt of murdering his own daughter. And then it goes on and on. But then it takes a turn that Alicia and I really was like, whoa, this isn't the Westworld we've been watching. But it turned out to be a very, very interesting move from the park aspect into true technology and AI and all of these other things. Mm-hmm. So with that said, that was general, but the specifics of it, what interests you? What are the things that kind of like jumped out at you with this series, as opposed to kind of following the guide, the guide with the other shows, which was Inside the Park?
Well, remember Dolores.
Mm-hmm.
I can never forget her name. Oh my God, Dolores in this season seems real.
Yeah,
she seems so real. It almost, you didn't think that she was a robot, knowing that she was so old from the previous. She was like one of the very first versions, and to have seen her just evolve into someone who,
very good. Yeah,
you know, into someone who is maybe ahead of her not her time, but her.
In a way, I'll say it this way, which is weird, but her species.
Yes, exactly.
Because her species, there's a species now of robotic people with consciousness. And there's a lot of them there and about. So it was, to your point, she did seem more human. She seemed like she was just a person, not anything that came from the park. She had her own decision making. She had a plan that she wanted to do, which was like crazy in itself, because we thought the plan was over once the park was done. And season 2 kind of told you that she wanted to have her species of these AI robotic people to be people and blend in with everyone else.
Yeah, but you know, but the thing that was so interesting, she made so many of herself. You know, there was
but that wasn't initially. You didn't know that initially.
No, you didn't. Because,
so,
it was just, there was just something weird about some of the characters, because if you remember when we were watching
the previous episodes,
the season, the second season, they were all individual. You know, of
Absolutely.
their own.
So it's like they said, she took 5 different processing cores with her. So when you start seeing them showing up, you'll say, oh, that's Marv, that's what's his name, and it showed 5 different people. But what you found out later on was she couldn't trust their existence So what she did was use their bodies, but put her replicated existence in each one of the new bodies.
It just blew me away because again, she was one of their first versions, and she had. It was almost like there was something they made a mistake with her because all the rest of them wasn't like that. She was just
now Mav was a little like that,
but Mav wasn't built at the same time.
Yeah, so she was a little different.
Mav was a little bit more advanced. Let's say that.
Right. She was like part of the core. Remember, she was able to change some of the programming. Within. Because she was like, kind of like what you say, she was kind of newer. So her programming and software was aligned with the massive software where Dolores was made totally different.
Right.
And I think her evolution made her start developing a consciousness within her software, which they never expected. And that's why they wanted to say, hey, look, we need to get rid of any of these that has their own decision-making process, which was like really crazy in itself. But one of the other characters in there that I love her as an actress anyway, but is Tessa Thompson was in there. So Tessa Thompson played Charlotte, which was running the company that was doing all these AI and all of that. And what we come to find out was she did actually die. And she used her body with her consciousness within Tessa Thompson's, within Charlotte, in order to start infiltrating the company.
Exactly.
Because they wanted to get to one of the main guys. His name was Sarek. This is Vincent Cassell. He's cool too. So that was like really, really cool. But I just thought those things was like so cool because they built new storylines of how you went from one to the other. And then they had like some great characters in there. So Lena Waithe and Marshawn Lynch was in there as these people who done these little contract bombings and stuff against companies. And Aaron Paul, if you don't know who he is, he was Caleb. He was in the Breaking Bad series, and he was in there.
Right.
I don't think he was great in there. I think he was okay. You know, he wasn't like, oh my God, he really contributed to this.
He was just a simple character. I mean, he wasn't just actually, he was just more like her sidekick.
Yeah. So he was, that's, except for trying to be really high brow with that, he came off as a sidekick.
Yeah.
Because
she helped him out, and in return, he was like, wow,
I didn't know this because they took away a lot of his memory because they were an anomaly. So the biggest thing about this was they had a company that started saying, let's make the perfect world. If we make the perfect world, we make perfect robots. And they had a machine just like in Devs that predicted the future if this person will conform or not conform. And those who didn't conform, they put them away and tried to do psychological change. And then what you found out was that wasn't even enough.
Right.
So what they did, they pulled them from society and put them in like a deep freeze. And these were people that they were putting away. And it was just like, whoa, what the hell's happening?
Right.
But that's what happens when people have control over things and people give up their control, which it's just really, really crazy. But the story was so complex and the characters did well to support that. And they had a lot of characters in this one. So there was a lot more characters that you had to know that was in there because they kind of related to each other.
Right.
But you had to know who and what they were. So kind of really, really interesting. Was another thing that stood out. We talked about Caleb. We talked about a couple of other
Bernard.
people. Yeah, so Bernard, Jeffrey Wright. So he had his own storyline within that, which was crazy. They tied together, but they were actually separate. And he had a portion of him that I can't remember so closely, but he would attack you with Like, he'll just cut himself on and say, somebody's attacking me, I have to be aggressive. He couldn't do it naturally, so he had to kind of like cut himself on, and he would attack them, and then he would come back into a normal state. But he was trying to find Dolores to say, whatever you're trying to do, this is not going to work. This is not the right thing. So he was going down a different path to get to her. Ed Harris he escaped out of there, and he was coming back, but they used him, Charlotte used him in order to sign some paperwork so she can control the company for Dolores, which she was actually Dolores anyway. But it was just so, and then Thadia, who played what is it, Maeve. So she was on a separate path because she actually kept going through the park. She was caught inside the park, and she tried to get out of the park.
Yes,
which was like, that was like really interesting too. But overall, and you've seen all this, I thought it was I thought it was great. Once again, I think this one stood out a lot more because they was outside of the park and there was a bigger world view of what was happening. Yeah, because
basically they were trying to, what's her name again?
Maeve?
Not Maeve.
Dolores?
Yeah, Dolores. Thank you. And Dolores, she was trying to build this mass, build more of her.
Yeah.
Have it. She wanted not to have the humans. She was hoping to take over with robots.
So she wanted her species of robots like her to live.
Yeah, to live.
And those who didn't want that, she wanted to eliminate all of them. And she know this guy with the company was wanting to do that. So she wanted to eliminate them. Not all humans, but she wanted to eliminate all of those that didn't see humans as someone, or her species.
Her species, yeah.
As being part of, to be respected and all of that.
She just went rebel on it.
Yeah, she was kind of like, y'all crazy. I'm just going to, this is what's going to happen.
But one thing that interested me is when Bernard, all of a sudden just shut himself off. Right close at the end. And the next thing you see him waking up and all this dust is on him.
No, but he didn't shut himself off. What he did was, remember, he connected up to, it's something they took. And he wanted to download and get that information. But as soon as the information hit him, it was like it shut him off until his body adapted to all that information. And he sat there for, I don't know how long.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know how long he sat there.
Yeah, but it was dust and everything all over him.
Because the other guy that was with him, he just, if you didn't know, like, where the hell he went.
Yeah, where the hell he go?
Exactly. So that was just interesting. So I could imagine what the next season is going to be.
So I don't think there is, but you never know.
Okay, they say they're not going to do.
So I didn't look at that. So normally they've said, get ready for season 4.
Yeah.
Or they keep an open line. So the only open line is through Jeffrey Wright. It's not through Dolores now. It's actually through him because he had information. He has things that's taking him another direction.
Right.
Where everything else is kind of shut down. But we don't know that, and I'm not sure if they will or won't. They have the opportunity because they got some great writing.
That's why I said I haven't heard them say that it wasn't coming back.
That's true. Sometimes if they don't say,
they will say, they will say this. This
is the last season.
This is the last season,
and they didn't say that.
Yeah, they didn't.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and you never know. Since there's robots, you never know if they can come back or not.
Oh no, but they can create so many different characters from this WestWorld. Somebody can die and somebody can take over.
But they can have their consciousness from the people who you thought died and don't exist anymore.
Yeah, but if the actor don't want to be a part of it anymore.
Oh yeah, they can.
That WestWorld can go on for, I would say, another couple of more years.
Yeah, but I think they're doing a good job now of limiting the series, which I like more. I like that you could say, well, that's how many, the seasons. I'd say, well, 4th season, I'm done. I'm not doing that shit no more.
Yeah. And a lot of the episodes is between 8 and 10.
Yep. So I like
that.
I really love that.
Yeah, I like that.
It's easy to digest.
Yeah.
And even if you got to wait another year, it's only 8 more.
Right. And there's no commercials with HBO.
Because
and they give you everything. And so with us, we love to binge watch, which is we'll wait until the whole season is over and then we'll watch the whole thing. I mean, it just depends. It really depends on which show, because I mean that
some of them you got to be like, I need a break.
Yeah, Michael. Like Watchmen, we was like, okay, it come on this week because Watchmen was so good
that we was kind of seeing it each week it came up.
Yes.
Which was like, wow. You know what I mean?
It was really good. Even though I know my accountant was in it. So,
but anywho, really good show. 3 seasons of it. If you want to understand the third season, you kind of have to know what happened in 1 and 2. 1 is the beginning, 2 really takes it up a notch, and 3 takes it to a whole different level. But you wouldn't know what that level is unless you see 1 and 2. But if you binge watch those, that's a total of 24 episodes. And then you can go see it. It's not like it's Game of Thrones that you got to see about 9 or 8 seasons before the last season. But really good, really good. Anything else, darling?
No, darling.
So thank you very much. It's Fade to Black Cinema every Wednesday. Every Wednesday we do a review, TV show or movie, because we ain't going to the movies. They even moved out my Christopher Nolan Tenet until August, but that seems kind of crazy as well. So we don't know if we're going to be going back to the new movies anytime soon. So we'll be serious binge watching, streaming movie reviewers and TV shows. But every podcast download, if you can't get to the podcast download, Bougie Black Brother Network on YouTube, so you can listen there as well. Well, thank you very much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time on Fade to Black Cinema. Later.